Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to my Practically Imperfect Life. I realized I haven't done a day in life video in like forever. So I thought I would take you along on this homeschool day. We're in our fourth quarter of school, so it feels, I don't know, a little more lighthearted. I mean, the kids are starting to wrap up some of their subjects or get near the end of their subjects. So I wanted to give you kind of an update on what our days are looking like as we are kind of doing final projects and finishing things up, how the assignments have kind of changed, you know, where we're at with things. So I thought I'd show you that. We're going to be doing some Bible journaling today in our group time. So I thought you might, like to see, what that looks like and what it is that we each are working on. I'll ask the kids, of course, before I share, what it is that they put in theirs. But just so you can kind of see what we're doing with that. The schedule is going to be a little wonky today, though, because it is a rare, beautiful day. Like, our March has been cold and it has been rainy and windy. But, I mean, like, rain all the time, it feels like, which I get it, What is it? Is it March that's supposed to be, like, in like a lion and out like a lamb or something like that? Well, like, the lion's been roaring. It's been very rainy, and even though the golf courses have opened, they've only had like one chance to go out because it's just not been nice enough. So they made a tea time for today at 1 o'clock. So everyone got up extra early so they could start on their work early. They wanted to try to have at least all of their independent work done before they went golfing. And then I told them, totally up to them, if they get done with their independent stuff early enough, we'll do our group subjects before golf, and if not, we'll do them after. So we'll get it done at some point. And then I have things to work on. I've got some more seed starts to do. I'm working on a really cool cake design for my part-time business. I'm going to be in this kind of like little contest where people enter food products that are based off a book. And so being a cake decorator, I am going to be creating a cake based off of a book. I've got some ideas that I need to put down on paper and start sketching it out, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. We decided on The Very Hungry Caterpillar as the book I was gonna do, because I just got a lot of ideas for it. So that'll be fun, but I gotta work on kind of sketching that out. And I have some like sample cookies to make to put up on my business website for, Mother's Day and Easter and stuff. And really sorry if you hear the woodpecker going crazy in the background. He is living his best life on our front yard tree. Like, he's just like, he's either screaming at me or he's pounding. So I know everybody's awake this morning. So some quick channel updates. So first of all, I am really, really, really trying to make a better effort to be regular with when I post videos. We've just had like so much going on that it's gotten a little wonky. And then, we've had like people be sick and things like that, and trips and stuff that's come up. So my aim is to be a little more regular in posting every Wednesday and every Friday for you guys. So that's when my regular videos will come out. I will say that I'm working on a little mini project. I've talked about like guest hollow curriculum like a whole bunch, and you guys know how much I love it. Why do I love it so much? Because their curriculum is exactly what I thought homeschooling was going to be like when we decided to homeschool. Something that gave my kids a vast amount of information but looked nothing like traditional school. And that's why I just love their curriculum. I love it. I love the way their programs work. But they're a small business, and I know how hard it is to get the word out on things when you're a small business. So I thought I would actually just create a whole separate playlist on my channel and do just some shorter videos, little 5-minute videos, kind of introducing their different curriculum programs, showing you a little bit about what you get and how it works, and what kind of things it covers, and just do a series of those. I'm going to try to do one roughly every other week, and if I do those, I'll post those on Mondays, and they'll be in their own separate playlist. So if you want to check them out, I'm going to start with the curriculums that we have done, and then the ones that we are getting ready to do, and then I'll kind of branch out from there on their other programs as well. So just doing that to try to share the word. It's not sponsored or anything. I just really love the curriculum. And I, as somebody who has a small business as well, I have a part-time baking business. I know how important word of mouth is to, growing your business. So I do that. For my channel specifically, though, I'm really excited for what I have coming up in the next couple of weeks. So By the time this video posts will be about a week before Easter, so last week of March. And the first week of April, I participated in the Homeschool Show and Tell. It's hosted by Abby from Rooted in Rest and Jessica from the Waldeck Way. And basically, like every month, they do like an open collaboration on one homeschooling theme. So we have a video coming up on our favorite subjects to teach. But the Friday after that, so that would be Good Friday, April, what is that, 7th? I think Easter is on the 9th. So the Friday before Easter, or Good Friday, will be my first curriculum choice video. Because yes, I have all of my curriculum purchased, and yes, I have it all on hand, and I'm really excited to do that. So I will be posting the one for my daughter, who's going to be a junior or an 11th grader next year. So her curriculum choice video. And then the week after Easter will be my son's curriculum choice. He's going to be a 10th grader, and then our group subjects. So just really excited to get all of those out to you guys. And you might go, that's insane. Why are you doing curriculum choice videos so early? Because a lot of YouTube channels, especially homeschooling ones, I feel like they don't post their curriculum choice videos till August. And that has always driven me nuts, because most of us are kind of getting ready to start school at that point, right? And if you're just watching those videos then, and you order stuff, well, one, you have to wait for it to come in. Two, you have to hope that there's a sale, and then you have like no time to review it. So my idea behind sharing that stuff so early is, it got multiple points. I want you to have time to, look up the curriculum yourself, right? And decide if you really want to use it. I want you to have time to look for good sales on it, or to buy it used, and and then to actually get it on hand and look at it and maybe do some lesson planning. So anyways, I'm really excited to get those out to you. Anyways, it's beautiful outside. I'm going to take a quick walk through the yard and just check on the plants. Everything has been pruned for the spring. Everything's been cut back that need to be cut back. Everything got fertilized. I was really excited to get that all done. And the bulbs are finally starting to come alive. I planted nearly 1,000 last fall. I was so bulbed out. In fact, I've got bulbs popping up in places that I forgot I planted bulbs, because you can't plant that many and remember where you put them all. So I'm gonna do a quick walk around and then go in and start working on stuff with the kids. So grab a coffee, take a walk with me. I don't know if you can see this fat little bird here. You're noisy. Kept interrupting my intro video. Not cool. I don't know how well you guys can see it, but there's the woodpecker. He's right there. Hi, daffodils. First open up. This is exciting too. This is my Rose of Sharon. I've got 2 of them I just planted last year. And I mean, look at all the little buds forming. Boy, I really hope that's just full of color this year. And then I planted a whole bunch of bulbs here. I think it's a mix of daffodils and different tulips, I think. I don't remember. I'm gonna have to compare them to the pictures because I don't remember. But I didn't have anything permanent in this corner. Last year I filled it up with the annuals, and I don't know, I might do that again this year. So this here is kind of an interesting area. We have this like huge tree here and then shade garden over here. And it was kind of like a weird grass path, so we actually just dirted it all over. And then I've got stone pavers to put in here to create a walkway this spring. But I wanted to have something under the tree. I bought this set that's like a wildflower mix. I mean, they were tiny, like, I don't know, nickel dime size bulbs. I think 200 of them. And they said you could put them in places like under trees and they'd come up. So it's been kind of interesting to watch because all of the yellow ones have been coming up first, and it looks like there's some blue ones coming up, but they're meant to be like really short and tiny, like little, I don't know, almost like part of the grass, I would guess. I mean, if you planted them out in like an orchard, but they're super cute. I think I have more over here. See, there's some more. They're just kind of popping up. Makes me think of, what is it that Mushu says? They're popping out of the ground like daisies, pretty much. And then the Lenten roses are all starting to bloom too. So I've got the pink ones that I've opened up first, and then I've got white ones. And then look at all these little daffodils starting to come up. I mean, I planted so many daffodils back here. It's like this whole long line of them. Gosh, I wish it would get warmer so these guys could finish coming up. I just want to see daffodils everywhere. So another sign that we're kind of winding things down is we're seeing a lot more writing assignments that are spread out over 2 weeks. So they're longer papers, 5 paragraphs or more. He did one, I don't know, I got it in my book. He did one the other week that took actually a little over 2 weeks to get done. But so this is part of a 2-week assignment. So this week he's doing what's called a story sequence chart. So if you do any of the IEWs, this will look familiar. Story sequence chart is when you are kind of breaking down your body paragraphs to tell about the characters in the setting, the main problem or conflict, and then the climax resolution. So this is the teacher guide. So they give examples of what it could look like. So he did his story sequence chart today. So he got that filled out, and then tomorrow and the next day he will work on writing these body paragraphs. He'll turn them in. I will check them to this checklist here. So this is the teacher checklist. So it tells you like what should be in each paragraph. I'll make sure that he's got those things marked, point out any glaring, mistakes, hand it back to them, and he'll edit the body paragraphs. And then on week 2, it's a continuation. So he'll have some reading to do, and then he'll fill out one of these for the conclusion and the introduction paragraphs. So he'll have a day where he fills those out, then he'll write the conclusion and introduction, put all 5 together, and then I will use this checklist to grade the whole paper. And then that's how we will grade it. So we only have just a few more weeks of writing. Getting close to done. Another subject that he's almost done with is math, which I think he's really excited about. So he's doing Shorman Algebra 1 with integrated geometry. And he did a practice test today. He's got a practice test tomorrow, a study day, and then the final test. So there's 4 quarterly exams, and he has his last one. And then he's all done with math before we even hit April. Not too bad. There's Picasso. There's the animal whisperer.
Friday night around 7, stuck behind your desk and by the phone.
All right, so the kids are working, so I'm just getting a little bit of prep work done for our group today. I mentioned in our Q3 video, we are on 40 Days with Jesus for Lent from Daily Grace Co. And we won't have this done before Easter because it is a 7-day-week program and we only do it Monday through Friday during our school days. But today we are going to do it a little different. So normally, whatever the assignment is there's verses to read. We all take turns reading, and then I read the part in the book. So it's usually like 2 pages. And then there are discussion questions. And I read the discussion questions out. I write my answers in the book. The kids each have their own notebook that they keep track of all of their Bible discussions in, or Bible study discussions. Today is a Bible journaling day. So instead of writing down things, I will go ahead and read all of the verses in the discussion, and we'll still talk through it. I'll read the questions and we'll talk about them. But what we're going to be doing is Bible journaling in our journaling Bibles. So those are the ones that have like the wider margins for doing art in them and things like that. Oftentimes they have thicker pages. We'll show you as we're doing it and things like that. But it's just something we've enjoyed doing in the past, and we've reincorporated, and just a nice creative outlet. The other thing we're getting ready for is another German test. So I use Klasse, which is a program made by Klett. This is a program designed in Germany for use in U.S. classrooms. But it is designed for a teacher who knows German, who either, is either fluent in it or has a really good knowledge of it, because even the entire teacher guide is all in German. So if you don't speak any German, it's probably not the course for you. But I took German for 4 years, did AP German, went to Germany, all of that stuff. So works great for me. But what I like about it is that it does have a book in the program. It's like an intensive book. So it has these review packets that you can print out, make copies of for each chapter. They're about 6 pages long. And we do these together over a couple of days as part of our test review. What's nice is that it very much mirrors what the test is going to look like in terms of what's covered and how it will be presented and what information they're going to need to know. So if they can do well on this, then they know that they will do well on the test. We also spend a lot of time on vocabulary review because with German, each noun has an article in front of it that kind of means like, you know, like if you were going to say apple, it's like the apple or a apple. And they have different like grammatical genders, basically, like it's either masculine, feminine, or neuter. And that's where, like when you see things like der, die, and das in front of words, that's what those are, right? So we spend a lot of time memorizing those. When the kids memorize new vocabulary, they have to memorize the article that goes with it because that will impact how sentences will be structured depending on how the word is used in a sentence. If it's a subject, if it's part of a preposition, if we're talking about, you know, where we're going to or where we're coming from, like all of that changes. So the grammar, I think, for German especially, is I think what catches the kids off guard the most because there's all these different rules you have to memorize and how things change. Now, I've never studied any other language, so I don't know if that's still the case in like French or Spanish or Italian or any other language, but I know in particular that's what catches my kids off guard with German. So we do spend a lot of time kind of reviewing the grammar side of things. And this chapter, we've been talking about what's in a city, modes of transportation, different types of houses, rooms in houses, objects within rooms. How do you describe if you're going to a place, if you're at a place, or if you're coming from a place, and how do you do the grammar in those types of sentences appropriately? We've also, you know, done a lot of like writing about describing our own homes and things like that. But I have a couple of tools that have been really helpful. And I think if you have a kid who's studying any foreign language, it's helpful to have just some extra resources on hand. You know, we have an English to German dictionary, so they can reference that. We have some books in German. We have like some fun kid books too that are in German because those are stories that they're familiar with, but it's in German, so they can read it and they know kind of what the story should be, and it helps them to, you know, be able to start to learn that language. We also have flashcards for verbs, so showing the different conjugations of verbs. But these two are our grammar resources. I got these at the start of the school year off Amazon. I'll link them down below. And I'm sure there's something like this for all different languages. I'm sure. I mean, you can find anything on Amazon nowadays. But one is just a quick 2-pager. And the other one is a big old fold out one. It's got lots of information on it. Goes over all the basic grammar rules and how they impact, you know, the words you're using in the sentence. I think it's just really nice to have because if they're struggling with a grammar rule, they can reference back to this, review the rule, see how it's going to, you know, impact the sentence structure, and then be able to apply it. So whatever foreign language your student's studying, and whether they're using a guided program like, you know, like BJU or something like that, I think stuff like this is just great to have on hand. There's just a lot to remember when you're learning a foreign language, and these kind of things are just really helpful.
So it looks a little bit like a tornado went through after Bible journaling. Just a couple of things to get cleaned up. So here's the page I got done. So we use a lot of different things when we journal, from stencils to paints to markers. But today I got out the gelatos, and they look, well, let me see if I can get them better in view here. So they look kind of like crayons. They come in all different kinds of colors. Some are shimmery, some are metallics. And you can put them on a page dry, like I did these colors. You can put them on dry, or you can take a sponge and wet it down, and then you can blend them on the page. So it's really nice for blending different colors together. And then I have like a collection of things like stickers and stuff. So I had these ones, put these on the page, then hand drew the little bees, and then I used a clear block and some of our different stamps to do the letters. But I've got a whole bunch of different supplies that we like to dive into for this. And just in case you're curious, this is the Illustrating Bible. I like it for Bible journaling. I mean, that's what it's meant for, with the wide margins. It's even got full blank pages, and the pages are really thick, so I can do something on each side and not worry about it bleeding through. So the kids have headed off to golf, and now I'm working on this cake sketch. So it's based on The Very Hungry Caterpillar, and I thought it was funny because I thought I had a copy of the book in English, but the only copy I have in the house is the German version of the Very Hungry Caterpillar. But I'm just sketching it all out and getting this design done so I know what I need to start prepping and when.
Run to clear your mind. I know it's all there is to be. Slowly erase your destiny and you.
Just checking on my babies. How you doing, plants? I just watered them in the base of all their trays. So I've got to recheck the trays and pour out any water that didn't get absorbed. I leave it in there for about 15 minutes or so, and then I dump out the excess. And that is a good way of watering them so they don't get too much. And then I got to shift them around on here and build the second tower. A lot to add. All right, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap things up there because the masses are demanding to be fed. So I need to go take care of that. Drop my son off at a meeting he needs to go to, and then I'm going to come home and construct another one of these because I have run out of room, and I've got like 8 more trays of seeds to get planted up. So got to get to work on that the rest of this evening. If you enjoy these day in the life videos, please let me know down in the comments so I know to keep making them for you. I'd also love to hear what your homeschool is looking like as we kind of get into this 4th quarter. Do you guys start wrapping up curriculum? Do you add more things in? Are you full steam ahead until the last day? Do you guys even take a break? I mean, I know everybody does their homeschooling a little bit differently. So I love to hear kind of what you guys are all doing. Again, thank you so much for joining me, guys. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. It's just a free way to help support my channel. And have a great week, everybody. Happy homeschooling.